Trish Pahanik, and this is Cynopsis, your first early morning briefing. Heading into the weekend, it's Friday, June 30th, 2006, and here is today's top story. An agreement has been negotiated between CBS and the board of the CBS Television Network Affiliates Association on a multi-tiered 3-year NFL cost-sharing partnership, and upon final approval by the affiliates, will give each party a stake in the new media opportunities. The pact will allow CBS the freedom to make programs available on emerging platforms such as digital streaming on the internet. Simultaneously, CBS affiliates will be able to promote various digital offerings on air and get a share in the proceeds, plus they will get a cut on any web hits they deliver to CBS.com and other CBS-owned internet properties. Hey, guess what? If you had a promo or a commercial in this daily podcast, it would go right about here. Coming up under more good stuff today, TNT gets more closer, MSNBC tinkers with primetime, WB schedules pilots for the network finale night, and more shows available at iTunes. And while I'm telling you about all this terrific stuff, take a look at these beautiful shots provided to us from the Internet Movie Archive. TNT has ordered up a third season of The Closer starring Kara Sedgwick. That decision followed the season number 2 premiere, which delivered more than 8 million viewers. TNT has ordered 15 episodes. MSNBC new general manager Dan Abrams is making his presence known with strong programming changes in primetime. Gone is Rita Cosby live and direct. Moved is Tucker Carlson from 11 o'clock to 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. And airing from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight will be MSNBC Investigates, a series of documentaries with new host Rita Cosby. You'll recall Dan Abrams just 2 weeks ago canceled his own show, The Abrams Report, upon being named general manager. Now here's a programming note that's pretty cool. September 17th is the last night on the air for the WB network. To commemorate the event, it is scheduled to run the original episodes of Felicity, Angel, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Dawson's Creek, beginning at 5 p.m. and through primetime until 10 p.m., says Variety. Interstitially, the network will air promos from its multitude of campaigns over its 11-year history. And the next morning, when you wake up, there'll be a new network in town as the CW kicks off its first broadcast day. Spike TV has something more to tout, as the premiere of Blade, the series, on Wednesday brought in record numbers, making it the highest-rated premiere for an original series for the network. With Men 18 to 34, it delivered a 2.6 rating, 680,000 viewers, and with Men 18 to 49, it grabbed a 2.2 rating and nearly 1.2 million viewers. World Media Incorporated, creator of the peer-to-peer digital download service Peer Impact, has a new alliance with both 20th Century Fox and Warner Brothers Entertainment, which increased their library offerings of movies and now television programs. Now, U.S. customers can legally download current and classic movies for $2.99 to $3.99 through Peer Impact's new software, Peer Impact 3.0. Television shows such as The Loop, Firefly, and The Dukes of Hazzard can also be downloaded for 99 cents per episode and viewed over a single 24-hour period. Previously, Peer Impact announced a similar partnership agreement with NBC Universal to include their library of movies, making it the first service to offer content from 3 major studios. Well, if you thought Univision shareholders would wholeheartedly accept the definitive acquisition agreement with the Haim Saban-led group, think again. 2 separate class action suits were filed at the LA Superior Court on Wednesday. Both claim that Univision's board of directors acted in their own best interests in the deal rather than that of the shareholders and the highest price, per Variety. USA Network, in partnership with Lionsgate, the independent film entertainment studio, has made episodes of The Dead Zone available on iTunes. Now, Season 5 of the show can be purchased the day after each broadcast air, and by the end of the summer, all 67 episodes will be available for download. Now, more on iTunes. MTV Networks has added more programming content from its array of networks to Apple iTunes Music Store. Since MTV Network's show launched on iTunes earlier this year, Comedy Central animated series South Park has sold over 1 million episodes. The newest content to be added includes The End Beyond the Break, a drama series about the competitive world of surfing, Nick at Night, the animated series Fatherhood based on Bill Cosby's book and hidden camera show Hijinks, MTV Viva La Bam, the humorous chaotic life of skateboarding pro and Jackass star Bam Margera, TV Land sit-down comedy with David Steinberg, Spike TV Blade the series, which is based on the Blade movie series. The 2-hour series premiere will be available on iTunes from July 11th. Logo, Noah's Ark, Season 1 of the network's original drama comedy series, reality series U.S. Event featuring comedian Ant, and Wisecrack, a stand-up comedy. Okay, casting novices, who would you partner with the current threesome on The View and Rosie in September? They're going to need one more for those days Barbara isn't around, and if anybody says Kathy Lee, I'm going to stop asking you for your opinion. Send in your choices to cynthia@cynopsis.com and put The View in the subject line, and we'll get back to you with the results next week after the holiday break. George Pace, the 71-year-old on-air host of the weekly PBS series Nature, died this week of cancer. Known for his rich voice and his enthusiasm for the nature world, George had hosted the Emmy and Peabody Award-winning wildlife series produced for PBS by 13 WNET in New York since its inception in 1982. George narrated each episode until 1998, when illness prompted him to retire from television. The series will mark its 25th season on air this fall. And a note to myself for this weekend, our own Greg Tufaro, the voice of the Cynopsis MCE podcast, has a new show debuting on Saturday night at 9 o'clock on HGTV called What's Your Sign? Design. Catch the earlier movie of Superman Returns and be home by 9 to watch. Here's the rating summary for Wednesday night according to Live Plus Same Day ratings from Nielsen Media Research. Fox took the spotlight Wednesday night and was victorious with a 3.411, adult 18 to 49. Dancing its way to a time period win at 8 o'clock, the first hour of Fox's So You Think You Can Dance beat out the rest with a 3.011. When 9 o'clock rolled around, it was a dead heat between Fox's dance competition and NBC's America's Got Talent show, both with a 3.811. CBS Shark Special bit out a corner at 2.06, coming in second, and then at 10 o'clock, NBC narrowly gained the number one spot with a Law & Order Encore at a 2.68. CBS repeat of CSI New York was a close behind at a 2.57. And your Friday fun fact, if a person is aerophobic, they have an irrational fear of drafts. And here's today's trivia question, courtesy of Brian Smith from WICC 600 AM in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Brian asks, who were the only 4 cast members of Laugh-In to remain through all of its seasons? Well, that's it. Be sure to check your email for the full printed version of today's synopsis with some new executive moves, more on ratings, a few new classified ads, a few other bits and pieces that didn't make it into this podcast, and of course tonight's primetime broadcast lineup. The music in Synopsis is an original composition for us from Michael J. Whalen. We'll be back on Wednesday, so have a happy 4th of July weekend. For Cynthia Turner, who wrote and compiled Synopsis in Connecticut, I'm Trish Pahanik.